We will not copyright or trademark that. We do not have the rights to this at all. Please do not sue us. Thank you.
Welcome back to These Unprecedented Gays, your go-to podcast for all things queer, where we unpack the nuances of LGBTQ plus life in these unprecedented times.
We paid for the check. Our little roll-on is a check bag.
Right. Your carry-on?
Well, like our normal roll-on that you could in the U.S. flight put above. Will not. It's
not our van roll-on.
Oh.
Yeah, see, it's only 109,000 miles to upgrade to Delta
only
1.
109,000 miles?
Per person. One way.
It's only one way.
From JFK to Nice.
But
I'm sorry that you're going to Nice and you have to fly in economy.
I know,
flew to Barcelona in economy.
You did?
You know what?
Yeah, I am a put me in the back of the bus girl. I'm good. I know how to make the small space workable because I have my little foot hammock that goes behind the tray table so you can elevate your feet. I got my compression socks. I read. I watch TV. Nintendo Switch. I do all the things. I get up and walk around.
I do all the things.
Yeah.
See, we we're right behind the bulkhead, so we got the rows. Where it's just the two people?
No, so you have a lot of leg room.
Is that still our new one? Because that was our old flight, I think. I don't think we did that.
Oh, no, I thought that we did that. Oh, please tell me we did that because we're flying economy.
The bulkhead is the...
we're flying economy, but I don't think we're in the bulkhead.
Oh, God, I hope so, because I'm like... I'm like Parker Posey in White Lotus right now. Like, I'm just not made to live.
Piper, no.
I haven't seen any of that.
Tsunami. But it's like, at my age, I'm just not made to be uncomfortable.
She's not wrong. It's a simple delicacy.
My favorite is like there's a side by side, and it's like Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande. It says "Rain on Me," and then it goes Parker Posey, Tsunami.
Yeah, those are the funny. They had like someone like mixed it like with a beat and like some various song like instruments is what they're called, and it was like actually pretty good.
I'm just like, I think she's so hilarious. And
who is she from though?
Can't wait to...
She's done a lot of stuff.
Like all of the like Best in Show.
Right, okay.
All of that.
She was on Will and Grace for
all those improv.
Yeah, Will and Grace. She was like the sales manager at Barney's and Will and Grace.
Oh, that Jack worked for?
Jack worked
for.
She
hit on Will. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So... Well, I'm Paul,
and I'm Joe,
and we're These Unprecedented Gays.
Okay, I have a question about the White Lotus because I know that like there's this all like hoopla about like the brother kissing scene.
There's a
spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert!
It's online.
If you haven't watched the 6th episode of The White Lotus, you might want to turn your volume down or skip past this part.
Yeah, well,
it's a lot more than kissing.
What else do they do?
It's implied for the most part.
They actually kiss. They actually show you Lachlan.
Well, let's be fair. They're really not brothers in real life.
I know, but it was like really fucking hot.
But
I know they're brothers, but I'm like, oh.
But while Lachlan's, railing some chick, he's also jacking off his brother.
He's doing a reach over.
Not even a reach around. It's a reach over.
What? Yeah. Hey, you know what? Good for them.
But it was really well done because there's, they're kind of in this post-drug haze and selectively starting to remember. And so you kind of watch them all slowly remember all the details of what happened. And
they were just really sexy.
And the girl who got railed was like, oh yeah, I saw that. I didn't black out.
I wasn't.
Are you guys watching it?
Oh yes.
I have to watch the second season still.
Why?
Why not?
I mean, yeah, you can because it's all interconnected. Because
that's okay. So is Jennifer Coolidge in the third season?
No, she's dead.
But she's dead. Wait. Oh, spoiler alert!
Oh, no, sorry.
That's fine. How did she die?
She trips and falls off a yacht.
Watch the movie.
Is that when the gays were trying to kill her?
Yeah. And then she ends up killing her self.
That makes sense though.
But that season was.
It was very much a Joe death. Like,
oh no,
a trip and accident, and then you would end up killing yourself.
Did she get eaten by the propeller?
No. We don't really like get into the detail of it, but it's not bad that she's not there. Like I thought there was going to be this big hole in it, and they've just got some great actors.
But no, they bring back some people from the first season.
The spa girl, was she in the second one?
She's in the third
She's in
one.
the first one and the third one, not in the second one.
She,
Oh my God, Matcha and Baxter are going at it again. They love each other.
he is whining.
Matcha loves
He's
to
a
play,
vocal.
and he is
He's a vocal queen. The girl in the first season was in a really cool show on Hulu, and I don't remember what it was called.
It's called
Something Die.
How to Die Alone.
Yes, but it didn't get renewed.
Oh, that's sad. Cause it ended on a cliffhanger.
I know.
Which is weird. Okay, so I found out about this show, and it's on Hulu. It stars the girl
in White Lotus.
In White Lotus. I need my fact checker to find the cast so we can get the name.
He's working on it.
He's working on his seating.
Oh,
He's
her.
trying to upgrade his seat.
No, I'm not.
What's her name?
Natasha Rothwell.
Okay, Natasha Rothwell. Fantastic. I love her.
Oh, yeah, and Conrad, the guy from How to Get Away with Murder.
Yes. So anyway, so this is a really great show. But I watched the last episode not knowing it was the last episode. So I'm like, I see things happen in like flashbacks and stuff, and I'm like,
Oh, you watched it first? The last episode first?
yeah, and I didn't realize I did.
Oh, no.
So I was just like,
no.
This is weird. Okay. But I'm like, maybe they're just going to go backwards, you know? And then I'm like, no, I got to go back to the first episode.
Yeah. I actually really liked it.
We're going to have to move our engineers out of the room, probably.
Masha was like attacking his ear.
That's how they play.
Oh.
They
He has an
try to
ear
bite
fetish.
each other's face.
Don't
shame him.
You can't have nice things. We had to take away the bone.
But no, it is hilarious. So I love that
it's
show.
good. And because it's just very like campy and like slapsticky, but also like heartfelt. Like did you watch it?
I haven't watched the full thing yet, but
Okay.
I'm going to.
Well, you should. It's good.
But yeah, so White Lotus, so she's in the third season as well. They bring her back.
Oh.
And I love that for her.
She's also in Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which I've watched.
I deleted my HBO.
I just thought, you were the one?
I watched all 3 of them. The third is just the worst of them all, but I couldn't look away.
Nick has learned what I've learned is the sunken cost fallacy. And he's like, I already watched the first one, I have to watch the rest of them. He's like, but they're all horrible. I'm like, then why are you watching that?
Because I have to finish them.
Because you watched them, so you're invested, so you need to see what happens.
Yeah,
I know.
It's so true.
Or maybe it's going to get better. Did you watch Knuckles?
Not yet.
On Paramount Plus?
No, I maybe I'll watch it. Maybe I'll download it.
It's spin-offs.
Yeah, spin-offs I can't do
He's
it.
going to watch Knuckles 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, it has Idris? Oh, yeah, that's right. He's the voice. I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
Is it a TV show?
Yeah, it's a TV show.
I'd love to say it was just as good if you didn't see the other ones, but it was just as bad.
Oh, they're terrible.
Wasn't this the one where they came out and like the animation of Sonic was really bad?
The
and
first
they made them redo it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the reception of the movie, it was like, oh, sorry.
In the Knuckles, it's a little bit over the top good, right? Like way too much detail.
I like that. The third one I think was my favorite out of all of them.
Jim Carrey's in it, right?
But Jim Carrey actually came out and was like, "Yeah, I need some money."
Yeah, I mean, hey.
That's what he said. If I can make some money, I'm going to do this. I enjoy it. It's fun. I'm getting
bills to pay.
I'm getting a paycheck.
Right. I can overact as much as I want.
Seriously, and he's
I'm going to get a paycheck either way.
In the third one, he's 2 bad guys.
Oh my god!
So he plays 2 people.
So he wasn't trying for the Academy Award?
He better get 2 paychecks. For
No, he got paid 1.
Range, come on.
I'm sorry to derail this, but I have to ask you guys: have you watched Traitors? Yes, you have.
Oh my god, we love Traitors.
They recommended it.
I just watched the Bob the Drag Queen season, and I started on Sunday.
He's
At
like
10 a.m. 10 a.m.
Traitors, like, oh my god, like I watched the episode, like this is so stupid. And then fast forward,
It's about 4 p.m.
You've watched all the episodes?
I've watched most of them.
and he's like, are you a traitor or faithful.
Joe will come in every once in a while and like watch Alan Cumming, and he loves it too. Because Joe's like, I think I would love this show.
Yeah, I absolutely would. Yeah.
And so no, if you go back and want to watch the other ones,
I will. I'm going to watch them.
the first one first, because the first one in the U.S. was half. Like just normal off the street people, and half reality stars, and then but some of the people who happen in season 1 come back to season 2, so it'd be better to watch
season 3.
I just it was one of those shows where I was like, enough people, you have told me about it, I think, and enough people have told me, I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch this, and I couldn't stop watching it. I finished it in 2 days,
and not only that, but like. For us, when we were watching it, we usually watch like an episode, but of course it always ended on a cliffhanger of some kind.
Yes.
I'm like, you are not manipulating us traders.
Like, not today, Satan.
Not today. We're going to find out who got eliminated. We're going to find out who got murdered.
So we'll watch the first 5 minutes of the next episode. Spoiler unalert.
I was so into it. I was like, Joe, come in here. So and so did this, and then he's like, listen, you need to take it down about 5 notches.
No,
but you can. It's so great.
I didn't say you needed to take it down,
but the cool thing is like there's so many people at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then they start getting thinned out, and then you start seeing real personalities come out, and you're like, because I love Gabby now. I think Gabby's
I love
hilarious.
Gabby too.
All right.
So,
but when in amongst the traders, the backstabbing and stuff that was happening in the traders in that season were crazy good.
Well, it's crazy, especially because they had so many big personalities this season. It was like,
I'm surprised they got rid of Bob so early.
Because he had such a big personality that everybody thought that he had to have been a traitor because he was like overcompensating everything.
Tidbit about that actual day. He was having a bad day because not a couple of weeks before he went on Traitors, his mom passed away.
Oh no!
So he was having a hard day, and again, because I was watching an interview that he did, and I guess he went out of bounds, which means you leave wherever they're filming at and go talk to a therapist because he was having such a hard day.
Oh shit!
But nobody knew he went out of bounds except for I think like one person, which I think was like Danielle or something like that. And then, so when
it was Danielle.
So of course, when he's out of bounds, that was when Boston Rob was like, "We need to get Bob out. We need to get Bob out." And so he came back, and nobody had a chance to tell him what happened, or that Boston Rob was like, conspiring against him.
Jesus.
And so that's why he was like that at the round table.
I just wonder, like, how would we all fare in a game of traders? Would you be able to? I feel like Paul, you'd be a good trader.
Oh, I'd love to be a trader.
I don't know if I would do well. I think
I would be like the girl.
I get giggly or something.
No, because there was the girl that was like the traitor, and like she was acting like
Danielle.
Yeah, she was like hysterical, crying, and I'm like, girl, you're the traitor, and she's like, I can't believe it. And I'm like, but also, good job, girl.
Yeah, but it was too much.
It was
way too much.
It's like Tammy Brown. I'm acting.
I think it would be really fun to be a trader, but it would be way more stressful.
It's all the game.
I almost want to be the faithful, and you have to be middle of the pack. You can't be someone that stands out.
Yeah.
So you just have to be average and quiet,
like Sir Ivar or whatever.
Yeah, right. Ivar is a perfect example.
Well, our favorite part of that show is like during when the traders are in the turrets and they're discussing who to murder. So they have all these shots of everybody doing stuff in bedrooms, and it's like Dylan's over here like working out, and
they're wearing like
getting in the shower.
Oh my god!
And they have like the robes. I'm like, girl.
And they don't stay in the castle.
Oh, they don't?
No, it makes it look like it, but it is not. You got to understand that castle is not like livable. It's just a set.
That's why I like
it's a real castle.
That's why I like the UK one. They don't play around with that. They're just like, okay, I gotta go, and they get in their car and they leave.
Because the UK is filmed in the same castle.
Yeah.
Wait. So are they there like for a certain amount of hours a day?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they go home.
And they film the turret scene at night.
Yeah.
Before they leave, but like we don't really know how they divide that up.
The magic of Hollywood. Anyway, I didn't mean to derail, but I've never really been obsessed with a TV show like this before.
Yeah.
And
no, it's a great show.
And I was talking to my sister-in-law today. She's like, "You've got to watch Australia." And And I'm like, they do an Australia one too?
They have
Australia.
They have traders US, UK, Australia, New Zealand.
Oh, New Zealand. Interesting.
That's a lot of...
New Zealand was not good.
It's going to become
and
the new...
Australia was
It's going to become the new drag
Well, they're
franchise.
like, are you a trader or are you a faithful?
Yeah, basically.
Well, and they got like local in the New Zealand when they got local celebrities, but we didn't know any of them.
Oh,
right.
sure.
Like a presenter, you know,
A wallaby. Oh, the wallaby's a trader.
a spot, you know.
Well, this is
The
what
dingo's a trader.
this is what I'll be downloading on Peacock and watching for the full flight to...
It will be fun. The UK
France.
ones are good, but the UK ones are all normal street people.
I feel like I like that a little bit better.
I loved the first season.
Yeah, I did too.
Because I like the mixture of like the on the street and then the celebrities. But it's like, but it's you also get to see these people who like have watched people play other reality games and they're like fans.
Right.
So now they're in this with them and they're like,
oh my God, yeah.
fangirling out. And it's just like the end of that show, like of the first season, wrecked me. Because it was so dramatic.
Season 1 of UK?
Season 1.
Okay,
Season 1 of the US.
Okay,
We'll watch it.
The UK one, the people are all like off the street people, and they really care. Like it's so personal to them, and it's almost too much. Like it's almost too.
But for
I'll
me,
make Joe watch it
the
with
thing
me.
about the UK one is there's always a medium in each season on the UK one. I'm like
a psychic?
I'm a psychic.
They've had 2 seasons so far, and each season had a psychic in there. And I'm like, you didn't
God.
see you getting eliminated, girl?
Maybe they did.
I knew you were going to say that.
Maybe they were that kind of medium. They can only talk to
One
the
of them
dead.
looked like a large.
Oh my God.
So sorry.
Besides traders, how was your week, Joe?
Well, Nick got back, which is nice.
Yeah, we're going to have to hear about his trip to DC.
Yeah, so he was gone for 100 years.
He was gone for as long as Masha's been with us.
No, longer.
9 days.
No, Masha's been with you longer.
I know. We're just
kidding.
We
But
love you, Masha.
He came back and then, I saw The 3 Summers with Lincoln with my old coworkers.
Which you said was one summer too long.
Was 2 summers too long.
Okay.
So, I mean, and I kind of was like texting you guys, like, I liked the idea, but like, my problem with it was every song sounded the same. And there wasn't much like dynamic within like the emotions. And so.
I heard the singers were really good though.
Very talented. So Lincoln, talented, but I wanted him, every song that he sang sounded the same. And I was like, I wish that there were just like more, just like range, you know what I mean? And also like the first act is like the first summer. And I turned to my friends, Seth and Tiff, and I was like, we haven't gotten to the second summer yet. I was like, we're on halftime and we're still at the first summer. Like,
So they're going to rush through the second and third.
Yeah, well, and it kind of like the thing that was like, I was like, okay, the only thing I really know about Abraham Lincoln is like the Gettysburg Address for like Emancipation Proclamation or whatever. They didn't do that. And then it was kind of quick through the second act, and then it kind of just ended. Oh. And I was like, oh, okay, like the war's over, okay. The wife, Mary, was sassy and like had a southern drawl and was like, oh, now, Mr. Lincoln. And I was like, okay, you are a drag queen, and I love this. Like, but there were like heartfelt moments with her because there was a scene or like a song that she sang where she was like visiting like injured soldiers in the hospital.
Oh, okay.
Which I felt like they could have done more. But you know, I'm local art.
So was this about
This isn't local.
Abraham Lincoln's gay lover?
No. Well,
Abraham
you told me that
Lincoln
there was
play.
a tap number, and one of them has.
Well, so there was a guy that
tap
was missing a
dancer.
leg, and he was tapping, and also
I would love
tapped
to
to
see
like
it.
Morse code when they were
I was
doing
just going to say, are they doing Morse code? Oh, God.
But then after a while, I felt like it was just like he was a prop,
Yeah,
and I was like,
too
he's
bad.
more than his peg leg.
He's more than his peg leg.
So I saw that show, and then Nick came back, and we decided to go to Costco on a Sunday. Was that Sunday?
Yep.
And it was not busy. Like, I was like, we need to go to Costco, and there was no one there.
I think it was because it was a beautiful day out.
It was, and you know what's funny? Today, there weren't a lot of people out, like on the road.
Because there's some schools, parts of San Diego are in spring break. And then next week starts the rest of spring break for.
But I will tell you, on the coaster, it was busy, and you know who was in there? I almost said football fans. Baseball fans.
Right, because
going
it's opening
to
week.
The Padres. And I was
they're
like,
5-0. They've never in the history
you
been 5-0.
motherfuckers, I have my headphones in, my noise canceling to read, and I can't concentrate because you are too loud. I cannot read my murder book. I also finished
Book 2?
the second book.
Me too.
I'm working on it.
The third book, you have to buy it.
Well, I downloaded it.
Well,
he doesn't do Audible.
So I have like Amazon Kindle Unlimited or whatever.
They don't have a Kindle version?
They do, but you have to buy it. The other two were free with my subscription.
Oh,
I feel like I'm going to save it for France because they're long. Those books are long.
And book 2 was really good.
It was really good.
I just needed a break before I started 3. I was not going to jump right into it.
I know. I felt like going from 1 to 2, it was like, okay, I got a lot of fantasy.
And I skipped
now
the
I need
chapters. I skipped the set chapters.
Oh, you did?
I was like, fast forward.
No, it's good to hear her engorge clit. And how, the arch of her back responds to his touch.
Oh my God, no, I don't need that.
Yeah. I'm learning how sex works.
It is very... so I was talking to my sister, who's, she is a high school level library science teacher. And she always has great ideas for books. And I said, well, have you read this personally, not for her school? And she's like, well, yeah, I've heard a lot about it. I haven't read it yet, but we're thinking about getting copies of each for the library. I'm like, no. Do not do that.
Do not do that.
Read the book first.
Yeah,
and
it's
then make that decision.
Not safe for school.
I like
NSFS.
This is young adult, not young teenager.
Oh my God.
But what, young adult is like 17... 16, 17?
It skews that way, but the schools now are so, any
it'll
issue
get banned.
is an issue.
Yeah, because it talks about sex.
So I wouldn't tell any public high school that this is a good book to have.
I mean, it's a good book. Yeah. So I finished the book, and now I'm back onto my my murder music, or my murder not murder music, my murder books. I'm on my second book of The Martini Club, which is about retired CIA operatives living in Purity, Maine.
Okay.
I know, it's Maggie. And Joe Thibodeau is the local cop. Or Thibodeau, I don't know.
Is there a male romance undertone to that?
I wish, no. It's very straight.
It would make that book complete.
Yeah.
Joe... He walked the beat for his whole career, and now he's beating the walk.
Oh, I mean, yeah, everyone's a little gay nowadays. So that was my week. What about you guys?
It's been good. So we went to a friend's retirement party.
Oh, was it Bruce?
Yeah,
I saw on the World Wide Web, social medias, that he retired. I was like, you weren't retired already?
Yeah, he retired from his job, and he is going to start traveling and stuff. And
he traveled already.
I know.
He's traveling more.
He's traveling more for longer periods of time. So that was fun, and then we had kind of like a quiet weekend, except for And
this is our month of Bruce.
It's our month of
Bruce because Bruce, his retirement was the beginning of the month, and then we have his birthday, which we're doing a brunch, and then
we're doing dinner.
Then we're doing a dinner. No, we're going to Moe's, I think, one day, and then we're doing.
We're doing happy hour at Moe's, and then we're going to dinner after that. So
and then of course we're going on the trip.
Yeah.
Which is also about, part of the reason for that was his 65th birthday.
Oh. And you're 50, right?
Yes. I just got my shirt in that says Old Dometer. And it's
Old Dometer?
Yeah. So it goes from, how old you are?
Oh, like odometer.
So,
oh my god.
49 to 50.
I love that. Wait, days? What is
That's how many days you've been alive. As you're turning 50.
Was it 18,000?
50.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to do that all over the...
I hope you do. I hope you do.
All over the cruise ship, if I go.
That's the
You're going to go.
Oh, you're going to go.
For those who don't know, I can't find my passport right now.
Yeah.
So I
Did
have
you check
about,
your pocket?
Girl, it is like we pulled out clothes.
Everything.
I checked everything. All I could try. Like,
if there's any friends of the program that work for the State Department, please reach out to Paul.
Who
exactly.
haven't been laid off yet.
Yeah. So So other than that, it's been kind of quiet and stuff. So just going to the airport and trying to talk to the budget people for lockdown. But
my God,
what are you gonna do? So Nick, you went to DC. How was it?
I was there. I'll give you the quick rundown.
He blossomed his cherry.
Ooh.
It was cherry blossom season, and it was beautiful. I went down there the last day before I came home, the same day, and it was just chaos. I don't know if you guys have been there before for the cherry blossom.
I have not.
Mm-hmm. I've done it a couple times, and it's just the most crazy amount of people ever.
When we went, it was insane.
Well,
was
there's
insane.
really only one good place to see it.
Yeah.
And there's only one main road that goes that
Yes.
way, and so it's mayhem.
From where my friend lives, you've been to her house. I walked from her house to
Her house.
cherry.
You walked.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
And back,
remember?
and back.
Because remember how Nick, he likes to kill people by walking, and this is where he gets it.
Girl.
4 miles
that's-
down, 4 miles back.
No, ma'am.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
I put on my great shoes. I walked down and saw the cherry blossoms. But they also do a kite festival, which is really fun around the Washington Monument. And so there's like hundreds of kites.
That would be fun.
Yeah. So that was like the last day. The trip was great. At least that day during that mass of people down there was not a lot of MAGA hats. But I was telling Joe that the city itself feels really weird. And the thing that concerned me more wasn't adults wearing MAGA attire. It was the young men.
Yeah, grooming the children.
People that were 12 to 18 years old. A lot of young men wearing MAGA hats. And that was probably the scariest thing I saw. So, But then that day at the Cherry Blossom Festival where I didn't see any red hats, which was incredible. But
You can't MAGA can't
That's
go
gay.
in water. Yeah.
too gay. But it was
Flowers?
great. Weather was great.
Not masculine enough.
I love DC. It's fun. It's a great getaway. It was a little too long, I think, because I tried to see too many people. But yeah, and I was very glad to be back. But I did get to check out. I love flying from Dulles. So Dulles to me, I call them the roly-polies. You guys have flown out of Dulles,
Yeah.
right? Like like the things that take you from the main terminal to like the gates.
Yeah,
Those are big.
yeah.
It feels like nostalgia to me for DC because there's not a lot of airports that have those weird
It's-
tractor
exactly.
roly-poly
People
things
mover kind of
that
thing, yeah.
He was trying to explain it to me, and I was like, I've never been on those.
Well, because you've only gone from gate to gate
Yeah.
in Dulles. You haven't actually come out of.
But those like sort of like taking a bus or something at like the airport is very common outside of America.
My friend Christy has adopted a cat, but not really. It's a stray cat that comes in and hangs out in their kitchen. And they feed the cat.
Okay.
And then they say, okay, go away at the end of the day.
Okay.
I'm like, next time I visit, I know that they're going to, that the cat's going to be neutered and it's going to have a cat house in the house.
Okay.
But I don't know. I go back to DC and every time I'm there, it feels just a little different, but I absolutely love it. I got to see my friend Ashley and her wife does a job for the government that like nobody else does. So luckily she won't be on a RIF. She basically helps the government sell U.S. stuff to other ally countries.
Oh, okay.
It's very complicated. When she was trying to explain it to me, I'm like, I'm just glad that there's people like you out there. That
Well,
know
that's
how to do
assuming we
this.
have allies.
Well,
We don't.
Yeah.
And nothing we have is going to be able to afford the tariff.
yeah, she talked about that, but I can't really talk about it out loud. But the last thing I was going to say is I got to go to my other friend's essentially re-swearing in ceremony at the British Embassy.
Oh.
So he is a friend of mine that I met through the military advocacy stuff I did. He was a British citizen that joined the U.S. military 30 years ago. So he's always been dual citizenship, but when he retired from the military, he got a job at the State Department, but the State Department doesn't allow you to have dual citizenship. So he had to renounce his UK citizenship to work for the State Department. That was during the Biden administration. So that's not necessarily a political thing. That's just like state policy. So he's retired from the State Department. They're moving back to the UK full time, him and his husband. But he had to basically go through the process of becoming a citizen again. Oh. Which wasn't easy for him because they basically were like, why did you renounce it in the first place?
Right, yeah.
And the answer of, well, I had to work for the State Department wasn't good enough.
Good enough, yeah.
So anyway. Is it easy to get it back if you had it before?
That's what I'm telling you. It wasn't for him.
It wasn't. Because it almost was a negative that he had.
It was
why did you get rid of it?
Yeah, why did you get rid of it in the first place? And why it was only like 3 years ago.
Oh.
So anyway, we got to go to the British Embassy. Some diplomat came down and he had there's a picture of the king, and we got to sing "God Save the King."
Oh yeah, because it's not a queen in right now. It's God Save the King.
So we got to sing. We applauded his whatever back into British citizenship.
Did they throw water on him?
No.
Oh.
But we got to have
baptism.
We got tea and
I don't know.
We got tea and
did score a touchdown.
Some
they
tea
got
and
tea and crumpets.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then
was it Earl Grey?
I don't know what it was. It wasn't
Scones.
It's English breakfast.
It wasn't really good.
It was
Tetley.
What's the basic tea that is in every office? Not Twilling. Oh man,
green tea.
My favorite thing about DC is that those kind of experiences can happen, but also like the security at the entrance of the British Embassy isn't like British military police. It's like a private security from DC. So it's American citizens who are doing the security for the embassy, which is kind of funny. Not all embassies do that, but I guess the British Embassy does.
Your embassy's right on Massachusetts, right?
Yeah, it's right next to the Naval Observatory.
Right.
So it's right next to where Vance is living.
It's cool too. It's a cool building.
It is, and they call it Embassy Row, as you know. Like there's a bunch of embassies, and
so one of my favorite things to do in the autumn, in DC in like September, you get these beautiful crystal clear days that are crisp but sunny. And walking from like DuPont Circle all the way to the cathedral and walking through all of those embassies is like a great walk.
I love walking, Paul. God. I've done that walk several times.
Take an electric scooter.
One way, then you take the metro back.
Well, and it's funny because when I was in London, we stayed in Kensington, and not far from there is their own embassy row.
I was just going to say, by the palace.
We walked through that,
because I was like, why are all the, what are these flags? And Nick was like, I think it's like the, whatever embassies, the delegates or whatever they are.
Yeah.
Not the delegates, but like the our foreign people. And he's like, there's
the
probably
delegates,
a US
like
one.
the things you have to
the
hand
delegates.
wash.
Yeah. I mean, foreign countries are delegates.
We did go to a couple gay bars, but they were like underwhelming and full of Trump supporters. So
in a gay bar?
Yeah.
Wait, like gays for Trump?
Yeah.
They're
called log cabin Republicans.
So was Vance right? Because he wants just the regular gay vote.
No comment. But I'm glad to be home. It's nice to be, and the best part about coming home is like the dog like waggling his tail.
Oh, Max.
And me.
And Joe.
Yeah.
And Joe wagging his tail.
Because it's funny, so obviously I saw the Lincoln show with my coworkers and I was like, oh, I can't forget today. I have to go get flowers. And they're like, what? And I was like, every time Nick comes home, I always pick him up and like I'm standing there at the bottom of the like escalator with flowers.
Which is
and
cute.
They were like,
it's cute.
Oh my God, what? Men don't do that. And I was like, I do that.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm like, I'll pick you up at letter H.
That's fine. Exactly. I just love like being the like, here I am and like, here's your flower.
Yeah, no, I'm like, text me when you got your bag. I'll meet you out there.
Nope. He's like, I landed. I was like, I know I parked here, but you don't know about it.
The last thing I'll say, I didn't know this about the San Diego airport. I thought the only big like flight was that British Airways flight. But I took United from San Diego to Dulles, and it was a 10-seat across airplane. It was a huge aircraft.
Are they the
787s? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the max?
They require they don't require as long a runway as the 747s.
Interesting.
So they get up easier, yeah.
So they can get up in the air. And that was San Diego's challenge, is the runway is short.
Yeah, that's why I always thought that the planes couldn't be.
So that opened when they allowed that flight. In fact, I was on one of the first 787s going to Japan, because Japan Airlines had the first one.
Really?
From San Diego.
Yeah, and they recalled the damn plane while I was in Japan. Like, I was in Taiwan.
Oh God!
So I could not get home on my return ticket because the plane got grounded because of like battery issues or something.
Oh my God! Aren't you glad though?
Oh, I was perfectly happy. I mean, it was a lovely flight, and it had those really cool windows where you like the windows fog up. There's no like slider.
Yeah.
And that's like that was the most memorable part of that damn flight.
Like they turned something on,
opaque.
right?
Yeah, there was like a chemical opaquing or
They're such big aircraft. Like it's just like, because most of the time when we fly domestic from where we go, it's like Salt Lake, San Francisco, just like
tiny, yeah.
And they're just small aircraft. So you see these massive things just get off the ground and you're in it. You're like, wow, this is fascinating. And then my friend Chrissy was like, there's even a bigger one, the one that has the double decker.
I was just going to say, I would love to be on a double decker bus.
To see that thing take off, I'm like, holy cow.
But I don't know if I would be okay with a double decker, because I've seen Flight Plan with Jodie Foster.
Oh my God.
I don't want to be like stuck under the plane because I got abducted.
The 747 always had an upper level. Like the classic 747s have an upper level, and now that's either like business class or it is like, it used to be the lounge. Like you'd go up there and it was a bar and you could walk around.
Oh, really?
Like that was in the 70s. And
that's when you could smoke.
Very cool.
That's when they took a little cart and brought you your food on a real plate with real silverware.
Yes.
And everything, so
life was good back then.
Yeah, it was.
Although you were made to sit one row away from, if you wanted non-smoking, you were one row away from smoking, and there was no wall. So I mean,
so technically, yes, you were smoking, but you're smoking.
Yeah. The last thing I'll say is we have a Capital One card, and so they have a Capital One lounge in Dulles, and it was nice.
Yeah,
they had nice food. It was great, and they have this whole area of like, to go. So they give you this little bag that you can put like a couple sandwiches in, a can of soda, maybe a piece of fruit, and it's just like a little plastic to your flight. So like
some of them have gyms in there.
I'm not this one, but anyway, it was a great trip. I'm glad to be home though. Before we leave for France.
So it's time for mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. So what's giving you life, Joe?
Okay, so I remember I texted you guys that if I didn't remember that you would remind me, but I remembered. So I was taking Max for a run on Saturday because we've like rekindled our bond now that he's not trying to kill me running. Oh, okay. And the song Mas Que Nada, which is like a samba scars? Something. Please don't hurt my knee.
I'm showing them the scars.
I know, but it still hurts.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what he did. He comes back and he's like, I'm going to poke it. No. Anyway. Listeners, if you have a loved one that is in pain, don't hurt them more. So I went for a run with Max, and the like Brazilian samba music came on. I was like, I'm going to make a radio station. And it was like everything. So like the little gif that you sent of the like shimmy shaking elephant, like that's what I was doing as I was walking the dog. So
okay,
I love the Brazilian
when you said
samba.
Listeners, it reminded me of Bridgerton. Gentle listeners.
I haven't seen Bridgerton.
Oh, that should be your flight.
Watch that one on the flight.
Is there a bunch of sex scenes?
Yes,
enough of them, but tasteful.
I'm on the aisle. You want to see? I will listen. There is no anti-glare screen, girl. Turn up the brightness.
I was on there and I was like watching on one of my flights. I was watching Harlem, and that was like all of a sudden it was like these people were having sex in all different like positions, and I'm like, okay.
What's Harlem?
It's a great show on Amazon.
Okay.
About a group of African American women who are friends
from Harlem.
Yeah, from Harlem. Okay. So it's awesome.
Okay.
So
what's giving you life?
I am. First of all, what's really giving me life is that over the weekend, the woman that I do the events for, that I was just in like London for, Atlanta and stuff like that, she called to tell me that she had a post-conference call with the company that we did in London and Atlanta, and they, by name, mentioned me and how much they enjoyed me.
You got rave reviews?
I did. Yay. So I was like, oh, that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, you did.
That gives me a little bit of life. I also just got my new Beats headphones.
Ooh, yeah.
What
the Studio Pro.
What are those?
Oh, they're
are they over the ear?
Over the ears.
Yeah, they're over the ear. Yeah.
Oh, so you look like a DJ?
I do look like a DJ.
Oh.
I'm like, wiki, wiki, wiki.
Are they noise cancellation?
Noise cancellation, C to C charging.
What's C to C?
And the kind of cord you use. Like
that's actually a really small box. It's portable.
It's portable, and then it also it has a very easy pairing with Apple.
I like those.
Well, because didn't Apple buy Beats?
Yes, they did. So,
you look. Oh my God, get it up, DJ.
Hey, Mr. DJ, put a record on.
Oh my, wow, you play that part. Where'd you get them?
I ordered them on Amazon.
Okay.
So
where's
because they had them almost 50% off.
What I was just gonna say, was it like a good deal?
Yes.
Okay.
So
I was gonna say Beats are expensive.
Yeah, like $300 something.
But not with your coupon.
No, well, I got half off because I was like, oh, look at this.
How'd you know? Was it just like you were perusing? Or did you
I was reading an article about travelers and what their favorite things to bring, and one person had the noise cancellation headphones from Beats, and I was like, I was looking, and it's like, 50% off. I'm like, I'm gonna. I came home and I asked Andy, I was like, are you going to be okay if I order these? He's like, I don't care. Do whatever you want.
And you got them in the next hour. Because that's how Amazon works.
Right. We are beating down your door right now to deliver them.
They are
we used to have these really good noise canceling headphones called Parrot Zix. They were like amazing technology 10 years ago.
Right.
And the only problem was they were huge. So they took up a big part of your backpack.
Those ones actually, the over-the-ear ones, because I have the Apple ones that pop over because I got them from work.
Yeah.
And so I don't have to pay for them. And they were expensive. But they whatever this is, they cancel the sound much better than the AirPods.
And the Parrots only get you, at this point, the ones that we have are from 10 years ago, so they only get you a couple of hours time on charge. Whereas these, it's 25 hours of playback with the noise cancellation on.
Wow. Really?
And 40 hours without it on.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it's a
so you basically
and quick charge too.
You could do multiple flights there.
Yes, exactly.
Dang.
The noise cancellation throws off my equilibrium.
I love it.
Really? You know how that works too?
I can't do it.
So a bunch of years ago, way before any headphone company had that technology out, there's a company in Jessup, Maryland that owns the patents for that active noise cancellation. And now everybody licenses it from them. But what it literally does is listens to the sound wave and it creates the inverted wave. So everything neutralizes.
Yep.
They demonstrated it. We went to visit them. We were looking for, it was for one of the telecommunication companies I work for. But we did a demo with a vacuum cleaner that made no noise.
It's so crazy.
It was crazy.
And you're like,
but
what?
it does create a pressure.
There's a weird thing that I'm like,
I think after for me, initially you're like, whoa, but then I'm like, it's because I hate I don't the plane wom 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 plane. I don't know what that's called. The wom woms in the plane that I can't deal with because it's just very it's the frequency just is very repetitive. Right. And then I focus in on it and I'm like, oh my God, and I'm counting how many wom woms there are. That's why white noise machines I can't do because I look for the pattern when there is no pattern.
Right.
Anyway.
I'm also what's giving me life is things that are coming back. So the second season of Survival of the Thickest on with Michelle Buteau on Netflix is amazing, and
I feel like I've not seen it, but I've
you
seen
haven't
it
seen it.
recommended.
Come on, girl! Like, let's
She's
be
so
real.
great,
You haven't
though.
seen it.
I like her a lot. She's
I
a
love
great
her.
character.
And
I
that
watched the
show is
first season.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And then also at Costco, they brought back my ice cream sandwiches.
Oh.
My little honey speculo
Yeah.
cookie chocolate dipped ice cream
Okay.
sandwiches.
So we got those a year ago, and we liked them, and they were sold out the next time we went to Costco.
no.
So they're only there for a limited time. Definitely worth.
I didn't realize that Costco doesn't carry stuff consistently. Like, they're only, like, so much, and then it's gone.
Well, yeah, because they're buying it in bulk, so
Yeah.
they only can purchase so much, and then they get rid of it.
I didn't realize
But unless
that.
it's like their brand, like Kirkland Signature, then they can carry it all the time.
Well, and there's some things that they seem to always have, you
Right.
know. But like we were really loving the Swedish meatballs that they do.
Yeah, they're
And
good too.
They're really good, but they haven't had them for the last. But they have like 6 other kinds of meatballs. So
Yeah.
who knows?
But not the ones
Yeah,
you
they
want.
do.
Those are not the balls that we want.
Not the ones you want.
These are not the balls.
I almost bought a Kirkland branded like T-shirt just to like see how it is, because I'm all about that. I bought some Levi jeans there this weekend.
You know, you're
And
getting
they
to
fit
that.
great.
You are getting to the age where
I
buying
love
clothes at
it.
Costco.
Why not?
They were what, like $20?
Yeah, $30.
But
Okay,
for
so-
a pair of jeans.
I know they were great.
So seriously, they had like Padres sweatshirts that were kind of cool, and I was like, okay, this would be a cool Padre. But I was like, everyone is going to know you got that from Costco. I'm not going to buy that. And
You should just bedazzle it.
I'm in my Costco era of clothing.
Okay. Oh, also, Andy ordered some Hoka shoes, and I ordered another
Yes.
pair.
Oh,
So
He made me buy shoes I'd never normally wear. They're bright orange.
they're amazing.
You're gonna be able to walk 8 miles.
They do feel really good.
That's only brighter.
But at least you'll be able to be found easily.
Yeah.
I mean, listen.
As a senior citizen, I need to worry about that more and more.
You know, Evan Hansen said it best. You will be found.
I'm waving through the window.
I was like, I know there's another song there that I know. Something about a window. Oh my god.
And I'm It's Giving Me Life is planning a lot of our trip to Europe. We booked a bunch of our dinners and lunches. We were having lunch at like a restaurant that's considered like one of the top 10
Top 10 restaurants in the
restaurants in
world.
the world.
Where?
It's called Steyerreck
Steyerreck in Vienna.
in Vienna. Steyrereck.
At the Stad,
at the-
Parkstad or something.
Stad Park.
Stad Park.
But our friend who is a food and travel writer,
That we met at a restaurant in
Tennessee.
that actually lives in London.
Oh my god, that's a sentence.
We know people.
but it was like, where should we go when we're in Vienna? And he was like, oh, these are the kind of places, so we're going to do
Look at
lunch
this
there.
restaurant.
And isn't that, the restaurant's cool. So it's all glass.
Is that mirrors? Oh, it's
and
glass.
mirrored or whatever. So it kind of mixes
Interesting.
in with the
Outside.
with the outside. So it's very non-assuming, but it's just like,
Paul likes it because they have a bread cart.
oh my god, there's a bread cart. And then there's a, what do they call it? A bread.
A boulangerie.
A boulanger, or no.
Yeah.
But it's like instead of a fromagier, it's somebody who just does,
A boulangerie.
well, like yeah, but it's like
boulangerie.
a bread or,
Yeah, a boulangerie. That sounds right.
but it's just like all these different kinds of bread, and he comes over and tells you
Are they warmed?
exactly. I don't know.
No, but they're all made. It just looked like so much bread.
So happiness, basically?
Yeah, basically.
You can, when you get there, take a picture because I love bread.
Oh, don't worry, I won't.
Yeah. I love bread. I love
He will
bread.
have all the bread.
I like you can park the cart right there.
That is $1,000 worth of bread.
We will be doing
worth it.
We'll be doing a lot of walking, and so I need
You need the carb
load.
load,
Bread
girl.
sommelier.
Yes.
And we made our reservations for like Central Cafe and stuff. We're still trying to decide. I think we did decide on which bath we're going to go to in Budapest.
Oh,
Budapest.
Budapest.
Yeah. Please tell us all of your plans for Budapest.
Because we're just going to follow them.
Yeah. Well,
We're going to just do your vacation.
it honestly looks so cool. I'm really looking forward. After kind of planning it a little bit,
Yeah,
I really
we
do want to go.
We've been watching videos on like people comparing the different bath places in there.
What's the difference? Just the locations?
Oh, no, they're dramatically different. Like some are really touristy, outdoor. Some are like family swim club kind of thing.
And some are where you go to get your dick sucked.
No, not in Budapest.
Well, I mean, I don't know what you're going to be doing.
I don't know. We might talk about that.
But a lot of them are very big and open and cool. Like there's one that's really popular, and it's like that one right there. Zenshi Bath is super popular.
Is that where you're going?
And then look at Gellert, Gellert. That's probably the one we're going to go to because it's a little bit more like modern architecture.
Oh, that looks like the Roman baths.
Yeah,
it's very Art Deco.
And Bath. Yeah, that looks like the Roman baths in Bath.
It looks so cool to us. And plus it's more centrally located, whereas the Szczecin baths are a little bit more
and they're
off
heated,
to the side.
right? They're like
heated. They're all a lot of these are geothermal heated.
Nice.
So
we'll do that in Budapest.
with the you can get a day pass and they give you a locker and all this other.
Can you do do you have to be naked or
No, it's a like social swim.
But if you do the swimming pool, you have to wear a cap, like a cap on your head.
Okay.
A bathing cap.
Okay.
I'm all for a bathing cap.
And then you have your little nose plug, and then it's floral. Can you please? With the flowers.
You see me coming out going, tucking my hair in under my cap with my little peplum.
I would love to see that.
Oh my God. You have to. Because that's so like 1950s, like 50s, 60s, where they had like the little, like the synchronized swimmers back in the day. That's what I'm envisioning.
Like the Busby
Berkeley
movies. Swimmers movies and stuff.
Yeah, because they had the little cat, and they were like fake flowers on them. That's what I remember.
They were real flowers.
I mean, real flowers on them. You know what? To you, they were real.
But yeah, so that's some of the stuff that we've been like planning and stuff, and now we've got to move to Barcelona. But
it's kind of weird because we feel like we're planning 3 vacations.
You are,
which we are. Yeah, like some friends of ours just like, we can get a private tour operator for Split, Croatia, to do a tour that we want to do.
That's one of the cruise stops.
Are you going? Oh, wow. You're going to Croatia?
Yeah, it was one of our cruise stops.
And for that stop, it was going to be like a beach day. I didn't think there was much to do, so it's kind of fun that they have this
like an excursion. That's
a little
cool,
excursion that's 30 minutes outside the stop, and like visit the town, go to this beautiful park.
That'll be definitely worth it. Because beach is like beach. Like, oh hey, it's a beach. Beach, please. But that's kind of fun to be able to go into the city and stuff.
Yeah, we have like a laundry list of little details to plan, and we're just checking them off the list one by one. So it's good. It's fun, and it makes you more excited about it.
Yes,
I'm excited for you. Can I? I'm just gonna like show up. Hey, I'm here.
Well, you're going to Nice, so
I know.
Cans. Not cannies.
Can.
Not during the film festival though.
No.
Oh my God! Did you hear about Utah?
No, what happened?
Yes, and it's just so blows
Park
my
City
fucking mind.
Lost the contract for
South by Southwest?
Sundance.
No, Sundance. So they're
going
moving to
Boulder.
in like 2027.
Wait, why did they lose it?
Because
due to
Utah's
their
being a bitch.
LGBTQ
policies hate
and stuff. Yeah,
Because
really?
of hate.
So they're like, bye.
Yep.
And
Good for them.
Boulder's actually a great city to do it.
It really is. I actually really love
Colorado.
Boulder.
Yeah, Boulder. I mean, it's a very progressive.
I call it every time we go there. I'm like, it's so crunchy, like granola, because it's just like they're very
Boulder?
like in Boulder. Yeah,
It's very outdoorsy.
Like
Birkenstock.
like REI.
Yeah. Well,
but more.
Yeah,
That's like real REI.
vintage REI.
I haven't been to Colorado. I want to go. I would love to see.
You've never been to Colorado?
I would love to see
I'll go
Denver. Another big city. There's Denver, Boulder,
That's about it.
Colorado Rapids. No,
You know, when we went to last time I went to Denver, I went with my current roommate.
Love the segue.
That's me.
Love the segue.
I was segueing.
This is gonna be like a 2-hour episode.
At this rate.
they didn't give them what they want.
We've been having so much fun catching up. We forgot.
know.
We have
Listen,
we
it
have a
doesn't
show to
even
do.
matter. Oh no, that was Don't Bother. Shakira saying Don't Bother, not Don't Matter.
Okay, so we decided for this episode we're gonna do
roommates from hell.
Roommates. So yeah, like roommates, bad roommate stories, nightmares, and all from like Reddit and stuff like that. So
well, I want to know: do you have any personal before we get into the Reddit?
Yes. The only thing I had was, yes. I mean, I've had people who live with me and they never paid me or whatever and stuff, and also like. One of my roommates I was like kind of into, but he was straight. And then like there was also the one where like who slept with his eyes open.
Yeah, you've told that one.
Yeah, I told this story before. Like,
I remember that story.
Yeah, and then also my roommate before I met Andy, who was like on coke and also would have girls over and have sex all night, and I could hear it all night long.
Okay.
So yeah.
I mean, you know what? And that's why you don't have other roommates.
And that's why Coke, they should always get the decaffeinated one.
I had a roommate, two roommates when I was in college, and I wasn't really supposed to be living off campus, but I was. And I was dating somebody else. I was at the other person's house. I came back to my apartment, and they were in handcuffs.
Oh.
Because they had... weed was illegal in Utah. Oh. So they got caught with weed, and they're like, hey, can you watch the dog? We're going to jail. and the cops were like, hey, your roommates, the only reason we're not arresting you is because your roommates, A, have said you're never here because you're with your boyfriend. And also, we tossed your rooms, and we didn't find any drugs. So I went back into my room, and the whole room had been like,
wow,
oh gosh,
tossed. And
that's
so
crazy.
They went to jail, and I watched Paisley.
Okay,
for how long?
I love that name.
2 days.
Oh,
I love that name too.
So they made bail, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean it was what it was. They got to go to jail for 2 days.
It was just a little bit of weed.
Just a little bit of weed.
Oh yeah.
I had one. So my college roommate, when this was before they used to do like. Where you'd have social media where you could meet your roommate or, kind of find someone who has an alignment of interests. Mm-hmm. So they just match you up with someone randomly.
Me, yeah.
So my first roommate was a nightmare. And
oh, no.
I get there and he has a plasmatics poster above. So he was into heavy punk rock and like rap. Like
that's not like me.
He was also like a Latin classics major, so he did not fit in on almost every level.
Interesting.
He would listen to the weirdest
Teenage
music.
angst.
He was not social. So literally that first semester, I did not spend more than like an hour at a time in my room.
Wow.
Just make friends
Where
with
else
people.
did you go?
We had other friends like on the next floor that we'd hang out in their room and
But you would sleep in your
or
room.
in the library, but you'd have to sleep in your room. But
oh my God.
it was just like not a place you ever wanted to be. But that was minor. I mean, that's like not even a bad story.
I had in college, my freshman year, my roommate, I vividly remember this because I woke up one morning and he was dealing drugs, like weed, in the room. And I like woke up and I turned over and there were like 4 guys and he was like on the bed. Like, he's like, how much do you want to pay for this? And I was like, and I like just like turned over and like, and I just like waited for them to leave. I like pretended I was sleeping and then they eventually left and we never talked about it. And then the rest of my roommate terrorists are just like dirty people.
Yeah.
Like, I live with people who just like didn't do dishes. When I moved to San Diego, I was subletting a house and they were all like grad students. Mm. And I was like, oh, that's fine. They'll be responsible. Nope. They never flushed the toilets.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. At least I flushed the toilet.
You have a high probability.
Hey, look, if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down.
Sometimes.
I'm trying to save water.
We do not need to save water. We need to save our hygiene.
All right. So the first one, because I got a lot of these off of the Reddit thread called Bad Roommates.
There's a Reddit?
Yeah, there's a Reddit thread.
Oh, I didn't find that.
Dear.
I found a BuzzFeed article.
Oh, okay.
But they were old.
Come on, BuzzFeed. So the first one is, I lived in a house with 2 other guys. Let's call them Steve and Jake. At the time, we were all working pretty well-paid jobs, so we decided to hire a cleaner to come and spruce up our man den twice a week. I don't remember how, but we ended up with an absolutely drop-dead, gorgeous young Polish girl who spoke no English whatsoever.
Oh, no.
We had to get our Polish neighbor to tell her what our expectations were, etc. For the first month or 2, everything was going great, and we were happy with her. She'd usually come in when we were all out working, so we'd never see her, but she'd leave the place looking immaculate. Then, out of the blue, her work quality went to absolute shit. And it became apparent that she was either not doing anything or she wasn't even going to the house anymore. Oh. One night, after a few weeks of her shitty work, I'm talking to Steve and Jake, and I suggested we fire her. Jake was all for it, but Steve, for some reason, was dead against it. Instead, he suggested we have our neighbor give her a warning. I just kind of said, whatever. I let him take care of it. Fast forward another month. I'm at work, and suddenly I get sick. So I go home early. I walk in the door, and lo and behold, I see Steve, ass naked on the sofa, hands and feet tied up and wearing a ball gag, with the cleaner riding him whilst wearing an extremely revealing maid's outfit.
Get it. Oh, my God.
The look on both their faces when I walked in was fucking hilarious. And even though I was sick, I died laughing knowing why her work quality sucked so bad. It turned out he used to come home every lunchtime when she was there, bang her senseless, then drop her off at her next job. Long story short, he got her pregnant, and she still lives with him to this day with their little girl.
I thought that it was going to turn out that she actually was like a dominatrix and not a cleaner.
My God.
Oh, my God.
Joe.
I mean, that
one's hard to beat.
Not Steve, though.
They're always Steve. Okay.
I love Steve.
So this one was interesting because it's about like a shared apartment, which I didn't know existed, but apparently it is. So it says, the first night in the new shared apartment I was renting, my landlord slept on the floor in my living room on a rug. I thought it was weird, but I was not in a position to argue as I really needed a place to live. Then, over the next couple of months, my landlord moved in and brought over 8 family members from Turkmenistan, including a newborn baby, and they all lived in 2 bedrooms. And by bedrooms, I mean one was in the living room. When I complained, they locked me out of my apartment. I called the police, who let me back in and scolded the family. It was a nightmare. I finally got out of there, and I've never looked back.
That's so weird.
I was like, wait, why? I was like, what's a shared?
What
but then
country
also,
is
like,
this in?
I don't know. Turkmenistan.
Okay, so my old roommate was dating a good friend of mine. One day after her spending the night, they went out for lunch. His dog came out of his room with a tissue in her mouth. I stopped her, grabbed it, and went to throw it out when my hand felt really wet. It was a condom, fully loaded. And when I grabbed it, I guess I squeezed it because my hand was now covered in my roommate's cum. It's been years, and I still haven't told him about it.
I thought it was going to say, and then I licked it.
Smelled it.
Oh, my God. Okay, so this is a fire gone wrong. So the dude kept falling asleep while smoking cigarettes. I got mad every time and woke him up. He bought me a fire extinguisher at a yard sale one day. He thought it was the best joke ever. He fell asleep on the couch one night. The cigarette rolled off onto the carpet caught fire, the couch caught fire, and his shirt caught fire. He never woke up. I woke up having smelled it, and I grabbed his gift, that gag gift of the fire extinguisher. His shirt and hair were gone. He was okay. He didn't go to the hospital, but he absolutely would have died if I hadn't been there to save his life.
People are stupid.
I mean, how do you sleep that deeply?
As you're on fire?
That's funny, because here's one. Had a few roommates when I was living in the dorms my freshman year in college. They were good people all in all, and we had some good times. But as with just about every college experience for most of us, there was one guy who liked to drink. A lot. One night I came home at like 3 a.m. to find our drunk roommate just standing over one of our other roommates' beds, staring at him awkwardly in this odd Walking Dead looking stupor. I could tell he was plastered because he was kind of rocking around in silence in the dark. Honestly, it was a bit creepy, so I called out to him in a whisper, "Mike." He turned his head towards me relatively quickly, head bobbing all around, and slowly raised his finger in front of his mouth and quietly shushed me like Elmer fucking Fudd hunting rabbits. He held his finger there for another few seconds and nearly incoherently muttered, "Fuck this guy." If you could permit me to quickly paint a picture of what Mike looked like and what Rob looked like, you'll understand why this was a really huge problem. They were as polar opposite as you could imagine in just about every capacity. Mike was a surfer from Los Angeles, shorter, skinnier kid with a long hair and a stoner attitude. Rob, on the other hand, grew up on a farm and was substantially larger and substantially more fit. Rob sounds like my kind of guy. Than Mike, and he never fucked around. Dude was serious, always. Now, Mike must have already had it out without me noticing because he was primed and ready to fire without me even realizing what was going on. All I heard was the sound of water hitting cloth, and that's when I saw it. He started to pee on Rob, who up until that moment was fast asleep. Rob, waking up to what he thought was just warm water, quickly realized what was happening and proceeded to jump out of bed and grab Mike, who was still peeing on him up until this point, and threw him across the room off the far wall.
Oh my God.
He looked like a fucking rag doll bouncing off the wall, hitting the desk below and then onto the ground. Mike didn't say a word. He stood up, quietly tucked himself in, and proceeded to walk right past Rob and climb back into his bed. Rob looked at me, looked at our other roommate who was now awake behind me, and looked back at Mike. All of us had this dumbfounded look on our faces at Mike, who was, of course, within seconds, already starting to quietly snore. I honestly will never forget the sight of Rob standing there in the middle of the room with urine dripping down his face, off his shoulders, and down his arms, with this absolute befuddled look on his face as he tries to process what the fuck just happened.
Oh, no.
I think it angered him more to hear Mike snoring because he angrily turned to his bed and tried to wake him up by shaking him violently at first and then hitting him in his back, arms, and head. Nothing. Mike was out cold.
Oh my God.
I
They just like water sports.
Yeah, right.
I have a drunken roommate story like that. We lived in an apartment in college one semester where it was like 2 rooms, 2 beds in each room, so 4 people could be in this apartment. And apparently my roommate and one of his friends and 2 girls had a foursome in the bathtub. We woke up the next morning.
In the bathtub?
The bathtub was one of those fiberglass, like all-enclosed bathtubs, and they literally cracked the floor. So 4 of them
How
were
can
in
you
there
fit
taking
4 people
a
in a
shower.
bathtub?
You can't. That's
guess
why
it's
it was
why it
cracked.
broke.
Exactly.
That was a we lost our deposit moment.
Oh, dear.
1000%.
So this one's short and sweet, and it says, I lived in a house with a guy who let his friend hide from the cops in our basement. The friend had shot and killed 2 people in a robbery.
And I hope they all went to jail.
Yeah, exactly. Sophomore, mine are not as grim as yours.
Hey, did he know he was harboring a criminal? I need follow-up on this story.
Nope, that's it.
Sophomore year of college, I lived in a frat house in the smallest room with my best friend. So my buddy had this crazy girlfriend who would sleep over in our room all the time because she hated her roommate at the sorority house. So one night, I wake up in the middle of the night and see that the 2 of them are 69ing. Oh. And these 2 weirdos are 69ing with him on top. So I don't get to see any of her, just his huge, pasty white ass on top of her small, petite frame. To make matters worse, she was trying to dirty talk even though she had his member in her mouth, resulting in gargled talking sounds. I was disgusted by this and thought about flipping out on them, but I remembered him saying that she had held sex from him for a long period of time. Again, she was really crazy. So instead of calling them out, I rolled over, faced the other way, and tried to fall back asleep.
That's a good roommate.
Yeah, see, that's nice to him. Don't call them out. She tried to gargle on some dick.
She was trying to get the back that dangly thing.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay, so I shared a quad in college with a girl named Monica. She was fine in the beginning, but then began doing things like hiding the toilet paper, trying to limit how much time we spent in the shared living room, allowing a homeless man to sleep on the sofa, and hoarding cutlery.
She decided she wanted to be a vampire and had her teeth filed into points. At the end of the year, we started referring to her as Demonica.
All right. To call Kurt.
Right? I shared an apartment with a girl when I was about 20. I was rarely there. Well, one day I phoned the home and told them I was returning in about 4 days. I phoned in advance because she would have friends stay over, and I didn't want extra people over, so I wouldn't come and I'd find a bunch of passed out people in my bed or on the couch or some shit. So the day I returned, I announced I'm home, but thought she wasn't home, so I sat on the couch about to turn on my TV. When I hear faint moaning, I hear it from her room. This person does not know how to craft a story. This is ridiculous how I'm trying to read this because it is written so horribly.
That's Reddit for you.
I know.
And then they'll be like, edit typos.
Yeah. At first, I thought maybe she was watching a movie and then began walking over, but then I hear the moaning increase and then a male moan.
Oh.
It then occurred to me that she might have a friend over or she was watching a self-love video. The sounds increased, so I crept over to my room and silently unpacked. I then heard her door open and saw her and some guy making out. I didn't leave my room to avoid awkwardness. Fast forward about a month or so later, I went to her family get-together during Christmas, and then she introduced me to her male cousin. It was the guy she made out with.
Stop it. I thought it was going to be her brother. It's fine. It's twice removed.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my God.
Is that a college in Arkansas?
Oh, no.
Yeah, right.
Oh, hold on. I have to scroll. I can't send it out.
Oh, my God.
Okay. This one is because it has a funny name. So I was in college living in a suite-style apartment, 4 bedrooms with a private bath, shared living, and shared kitchen. My friend rented a room, and I had a room. My friend rented a room. I had a room, and we got 2 randos assigned to us. After a few months, our place was starting to increasingly smell worse, and we couldn't figure out what was going on. We deep cleaned, bleached everything, but couldn't find the source. Only thing we didn't go through was the 2 randos' rooms. One day, one of the randoms went home for the weekend. My buddy and I broke into the room and discovered the source. The dude was shitting in a plastic bin and keeping it under his bed. After a big what the fuck moment, we disposed of it and confronted him. He, of course, denied it all and claimed he never did such a thing. After several days, the smell went away and never came back. Poop Bucket is now a cop.
Ew. Who does
They
that?
should have taken a photo.
Right, exactly.
Poop bucket.
Ew.
Poop bucket.
So I've been living with this guy since August, and everything seemed pretty chill. We watch the same kind of shows and have similar interests, so I thought I had made a mate and finally had a normal flatmate. Recently, I decided to smoke some weed and watch the Vince Staples show, which is great in my opinion. And he joins me and asks for a few puffs, which is cool. Eventually, he falls asleep, and I just carry on watching until like 3 a.m. when I decide to go to sleep. As I get up, he wakes up and just makes regular convo. After a minute or two, I tell him I'm going to head to bed and wish him a good night. Tell me why, as I'm on the toilet high as fuck at 3 a.m., this guy asks me if I want a blowjob.
What?
Even after declining, he doubles down and says to just let him know if I ever reconsider. I should have mentioned, but yeah, he's obviously gay, but also I have a girlfriend who comes around almost every week.
Oh.
What the fuck do I do now? It's made me really uncomfortable and basically made me rethink this living situation. I used to cook meals for like 3 days because I work out a lot and let him have some. Now even that seems odd to me. He's also starting to send me good morning messages like he's my girl or something.
Oh.
To be frank, this happened before but with a girl, so I decided not to live with women anymore. But this is just as bad, if not worse.
Okay, so this story actually circles back. The woman that comes and visits him every week is the maid with the ball gag.
And that's Steve.
Yeah.
Full circle.
It all
Full
connects.
circle.
I was going to
my
say, like,
God.
just accept the blowjob. Take it as a compliment.
It's the same when you close your eyes.
Friction is
It
friction,
really
baby.
is.
Any hole is the goal.
And arguably, a man knows what to do more than a woman.
He'll
'cause
probably
he got
tickle the balls for you.
Right. I mean, just tell him to shave his face. You'll never know.
He'll Swedish those meatballs.
There you go. And I mean, if he lotions his hand, lotions?
Lotions.
He puts the lotion
If he
on.
lotions
puts
his
the
hands and they're
lotion.
soft, you will never know. You'll never know.
Lotions.
Okay, this one resonated with me because I had a roommate do this, but it was not as consistent. So It says, I had a roommate in college who would never get up when his alarm clock went off. He would automatically hit the snooze button. 7 minutes later, alarm goes off. He hits the snooze again. He would do this at least 7 or 8 times before he would actually get up. I suggested he set an alarm for later and get up the first time it went off, and he looked at me like I had a third eyeball. Because in, I forget which living situation it was, but there was one of my roommates, and he would, like, snooze, and I'm like...
Well, the worst part is if they have that, like, the one where they turn their phone up really, really loud, and it's the, like, the nuclear meltdown.
Yes!
Like... alarm.
Yes, Nick. I made him change his alarms because his was like that, like really shrill, and he's like, "But that's how I get up." And I'm like "You need to change it to the soft one."
Here it is.
Like,
this is what it is now.
Okay,
it's much better instead of like that.
I used to have one where it would slowly get louder.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Oh, this is kind of nice."
We're supposed to.
But yeah.
I want music that sounds like the beginning of a sitcom. I want to feel like I'm waking up into a sitcom episode.
Oh my god! So 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton,
or you can do "Thank You for Being a Friend."
Yes. Or the one from the Step by Step, Day by Day.
The deeper we go, the harder we fall.
We'll make it better.
Oh my god, you guys are the worst. We meet you guys in a chorus.
I don't know the song. I just remember the only thing I remember about that show is they had
that show.
The white roller coaster. It was like the big white roller coaster.
Why gotta be white?
Because it was racism. When you were saying things this earlier in the episode, you're like, what's giving me life is things that are coming back around. I was like, not racism. Or women's suffrage.
I really enjoyed Patrick Duffy in that show.
He was the dad, right?
Yeah, he was the dad.
And Susan Summers.
Yeah,
Suzanne Summers.
Suzanne Summers.
With her workout videos.
The best.
So the next one is, when he skipped out on rent and moved while I was at work, he left behind some of the most interesting porn I've seen. He was into amputees and urine. He also vomited on the carpet, never cleaned it up, and it ate through. I didn't get my deposit back.
Wait. Okay, So
his roommate skipped out on the rent.
And then moved out.
And moved out while he was at work. Yeah.
Oh, God.
He moved out within an 8-hour period?
I guess so.
Damn.
Well, obviously it was quick because he didn't take his porn.
His amputee pee porn.
Right.
Hey, you're in luck.
Listen, really put your best foot forward on that one.
That's enough.
Okay.
Good thing he didn't go see, he would have loved 3 Summers of Lincoln.
You're all going to hell. You're all going to hell.
Listen, you know what? We're going to hell. We're going to have fun. I don't care. Okay. Okay. So in college, I rented a room in a house from a slumlord. Roommates were heroin addicts and twin brothers who would constantly steal my food. Ooh. I baked a batch of brownies with a whole pack of X-Lax in them, figuring they'd take 1 or 2, get the squirts, and I'd tell them to fuck off and not eat my shit anymore. One ate the whole pan. Overnight, I heard puking, followed by dry heaving. It went on for a while. He told me the next day he had food poisoning, and everything came out the other end. I never told him.
Not my roommate, but my best friends. I had to share this somewhere because I still don't fully believe it happened. So my friend, let's call her Jess, lives with a guy she met through a university housing board. Everything seemed fine for the first month, until Jess came home one day to find her betta fish tank, including the fish, live plants, gravel, everything, inside the microwave. It wasn't turned on, thankfully, but when she asked him what the actual hell he was doing, he said, "It just looked kind of cold in there. Thought I'd help it out."
Oh my God.
He generally believed the fish might be more comfortable if it was warmed up a little. She has a heater in the tank already, a working one. Also, who thinks microwaving an aquarium is an acceptable solution? She has since moved the tank into her locked bedroom, but this is just one of many insane things he's done. I told her she's basically living with a sitcom character written by someone who's never met real people.
Oh my God. No. Save the betta fish.
Yeah, no, right?
I have. This is an animal one too. It says, I was renting a 3-bedroom apartment with another girl and guy I knew from university. Guy ended up killing my pet rabbit because he was jealous of the time I spent with it.
Ew. People need to chill.
Wackadoo. That's not fatal attraction. I only lived with this roommate a year and a half before I couldn't take her craziness and moved out a year ago. I was in my mid-40s and she was almost 70. So, not college, so this is good. And we had been friends for over 10 years. I knew going in she had mental health issues and wasn't taking her meds, but I hadn't realized how bad she really was.
Oh, no.
I could write a book on all the weird and mean things she did while I lived with her, but this story in particular directly involved me. Out of nowhere, she asked me not to throw my used tampons away and instead save them for her. Disgusted, I refused and demanded to know why she wanted them. So, some needed backstory. We live in the Pacific Northwest, and she had a separate small piece of property in the middle of nowhere, with an RV hookup she used for recreation or to rent out to vacationers. Right next to that was another small property with a log cabin she used to own before selling it to a woman as equally unbalanced as her, and the two had been fighting ever since. One time they got in such a heated argument, the neighbor pulled a gun on her and fired a couple of shots in her direction.
Oh my God.
I wasn't there, but it doesn't surprise me.
Oh my God.
So she decided to take revenge into her own hands. There was a pack of wolves spotted in the area, and my roommate thought it would be fitting if she could lure the wolves onto the woman's property to scare her. And she thought my bloody tampons would work.
Oh no.
First of all,
Oh.
I didn't think that would work. But second, if something happened to that lady, I didn't want it to be my DNA scattered around her head.
Oh my God.
When I told my roommate no, she became furious with me, stating she would use her own tampons if she still had periods, and it was the least I could do since I still had mine.
It's the least you can do?
I still refused, and she was mad at me for a week afterward.
No.
Paul, it's the least you can do because you still have
I
periods.
know, right?
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Okay, this is my last one, and it's short and sweet. It says, one roommate brought home two rats as pets, and we ended up with 29.
God.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
I will say though, pet rats are much cuter
No,
than
absolutely
the real rats.
Rats are rats.
You don't like rats?
No.
Oh, they're cute.
We saw a ton of them in DC.
I think because they're not the cute rats.
They're cute. They're like.
Well, but the cute rats are just cute, and they're cute.
Would you pick it up and pet it?
Not a street rat.
And it's not a cute rat.
I'm talking about the ones you get at Petco.
What about pizza rat?
Well, as long as you got pizza.
So I have two more. So the first one is, I honestly have nowhere else I can share this to besides Reddit. I do not want to, nor do I know how to bring this up to my roommate, and I am in need of advice. I'm a 21-year-old female who shares a bathroom with one of my 3 roommates, also 21-year-old female. The bathroom happens to be directly across from the door to my room. My room is quite large, so I cannot even hear the toilet flush from where my bed is. However, I can hear when the shower is running, and one day a few months ago, I hear loud moaning coming from the shower while my roommate was in there. I decided to mind my own business and not say anything because if I'm being honest, I was grossed out and wanted to forget it ever happened. That proved impossible when now every time she showers, she seems to be enjoying herself. I thought the first few times she might not have known I was home, but then last month we had spoken before she went to take a shower, so I purposely left my door open and was in my room being loud so she knew I was there. That didn't stop her. I quickly shut my door, and ever since I've been trying to play loud music when I know she is showering. It seems no matter how loud, I can still hear her. I do not want to cause her to feel shame over this, but I do find it very strange she does it even when she knows I'm there and can hear her. It's possible she doesn't think she's being loud, but at this point I have no idea how to bring this up, but this has been occurring more than 5 times a week in the afternoon, and I can't just leave the apartment at the time she is showering.
Every day.
But you just need to turn off the hot water.
Well, and then not only that, but how do you know she's not getting off to the fact that you can hear her?
Right. But also, girl, get it, girl. Pleasure yourself.
If you know how to do that, do it all you like. Mm-hmm. Do it all day long.
The other girl's probably jealous.
Because it's for guys, it's just okay, we're good. Yeah. girls, you really gotta dig up in there, I guess. Or
Well, no,
something.
they might have the handheld massage.
Oh,
the
there you go.
shower massage.
Change out the shower.
That's what it is. Well, and the way that Joe's got it set, that thing would work really well.
Yeah. You get a power wash and a skeet.
Okay, so I have one last one, and this
That's
one
called
is
a
actually
wash and rinse.
Yeah, and repeat.
Yeah.
So this last one is ending it on a good note. My South Korean roommate in college played StarCraft well into the night. We're talking like I'd be getting up to go to class and he'd be logging off. It cured my insomnia. Listening to a game in a language I didn't understand was very soothing, apparently, and I went from taking 3 to 4 hours a night to fall asleep, if I would at all, to falling asleep within 30 seconds of laying my head down.
Oh,
I know.
Sahamida.
I know. See, that's awesome. Well, good for you, girl.
what's StarCraft?
It's a video. It's a
Like a video game?
It was the best game ever.
Did you play it?
Yes. Oh.
I don't know about that.
Now we know what Nick's going to do on the plane.
Play with
It's
himself.
an old game, StarCraft. I haven't even thought about it for years.
You know what though? Actually, it's funny that you say that, the story about like it's foreign language, because if I'm hearing like English, like I'm trying to like pay attention, but if it's not a language that I know, it's soothing.
No, because
I don't know it. I can't hear it.
gotta
It's
turn your
almost like
brain off.
music. Yeah.
So, wow. Hopefully, you guys have. If you have your own roommate horror stories,
Yeah, tell us.
Email them to us at tugayspod@yahoo.com. That's tugayspod@yahoo.com. Or send us a message on Instagram at tugayspod. And everybody have a great week.
And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in to These Unprecedented Gays. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and join us next time as we continue exploring the ever-changing landscape of queer life. Until then, stay proud, stay fierce, and stay unprecedented.